Hey, what's going on, Beth? So I've gotten a couple comments on my other channel, and I want to reply to this on this channel because I know there's some veterans who live in the States and in other countries who are curious about living outside the US or moving here and living here. And they're usually talking about income and how people live. So I want to be clear with something so you all understand specifically what I'm talking about. Because there's someone who just wrote a message and I replied back to it, who's also a minimalist, because I'm a minimalist, as you all know. I travel with just a backpack, a carry-on bag, and that's it. A lot of the stuff that I have, I've given away, gotten rid of, cars, motorcycles, all that stuff, gotten rid of. But the one thing I want you all to understand, okay, those of you who are thinking about leaving the US and coming to another country, which you will hear people say, I live like a king on X amount of money, specifically $1,500 and under. They claim they live like a king. Let me say this. You need to ask them what kind of comfort and luxury, because if you look up the definition of live like a king, that means comfort and luxury. You should listen to their standard of living before you make that decision to leave the US and go to that country. Here's why. In the US, you have a lot of conveniences, you have a lot of amenities. When you come to a developing country, you do not get the same thing. Okay? I need you all to understand that people who say this, 1,500, 1,200, 800, $1,000, live like a king, ask them what their standards are. Because I've been to a lot of countries. I've never been to a country where people consider riding a bus luxury, riding a metro luxury, riding a cable car luxury, going to an apartment, no hot water luxury, no stove but a hot plate luxury, brown water coming out of the sink luxury. Where is this luxury at? You're coming from the West where these things are not even thought of. Hot water, you don't think twice about. You know when you're going into a shower, there's hot water. You don't get that here in all places. And these other people are trying to tell you you living like a king. Okay, what apartment complex you know that has 11 stories with no elevator in the States? There's all stairs. Where do they do that at? That's luxury? That's comfort. Because again, coming from the West, these are a lot of things that we take for granted. We don't even think twice about going to a complex that's more than 4 stories that doesn't have an elevator. Even 3 stories have an elevator. You come here in certain areas, oh, you may have 11, 12, 15 floors, no elevator whatsoever. Guess how you got to get your furniture up there? That's how it goes. They're calling that luxury. Do you all understand that? I want to be clear with this because some of you all are seriously thinking about leaving $1,500, $1,800, coming to countries like this and thinking, well, I'm going to live great. Really? I keep telling you all, think about everything you have in the States right now, okay? Think about how you're living in the States right now. All the conveniences you have in the US right now. You do not get those same things here, even in this apartment I'm in. I'm in one of the best areas you can be in. Do you know how much stuff I'm missing right now? In my old house, I had a remote that controlled everything, from the curtains to the freak, everything. Everything. One remote. They don't have nothing like that here. Where they got to hear it? Nowhere. So when people tell you stuff, you all should think very hard and ask these people specifically, what kind of lifestyle you live, bro? How you get around? You got a driver? You got a maid that cleans your place? Do you have a chef that cooks for you? Because that is luxury. Okay? That's comfort. When I go somewhere, someone takes me everywhere I want to go, regardless of where it is. Anything I buy, I don't carry it. I have a driver. They carry it. Anything I want to get done, whether it's a dentist, they come to me. I don't go to them. A doctor, they come to me. I don't go to them. That's luxury. But again, I don't think a lot of these people know what luxury and comfort is. To a layman person in the US who's living an average life, you tell them $1,500 they can come live like a king, they're not picturing riding a bus or doing any of these things I mentioned earlier. So you need to be careful what you tell people with this $1,500 BS, because that is nowhere near luxury. You're living above most people in that country. That's what you're doing. That's all you're doing. That is not comfort. That is not luxury. As a minimalist, I'm telling you, that is not luxury. When you fly and you fly basic class, that's basically what you're going to get. Basic. I'm sitting up front in first class, right? Chilling. No issues. Anything I want, the lady's going to bring it. You, on the other hand, got to pay for everything. That's the difference. I'm going to repeat that. Luxury, you're not paying for. It's already paid for. What else are you paying for? But when you're basic, you pay for everything. Spirit, perfect example. No, not Spirit, because Spirit makes you pay regardless if you're sitting up front or not. Delta. Basic, Comfort Plus, first class. First class, I can take as many bags as I want. I'm not charged a thing. Okay? I don't have headphones, they give them to me. They give me a package, pillows and everything. I ain't got to do shit. I'm hungry, ma'am, I need something to eat. They're just going to bring it. You in the back, what are you going to do? You got to pay for every goddamn thing. You all need to understand that, okay? Please understand that. Stop thinking that you can get away on living on nothing unless your standards are very low. And I mean very low. Don't listen to that bullshit, because that's what it is, bullshit. Go look at videos of these people telling you this. And when you ask them a question, tell them, show your entire apartment, then go outside and show them where you at. Ask them to show you where they at. Okay? As a veteran, I'm telling you all, I'm trying to save you all some headaches. The number one reason why veterans leave or why expats leave a country is because they've been sold a bill of goods and they cannot afford to be there to live the lifestyle they want to live. Your life right now in the US, most of you all have cars, right? Do you think cars here are cheaper than they are in the US? Do you think used cars here are cheaper than they are in the US? No, they're not. So how do you expect to get around? You're going to give up your car that you're used to going everywhere, doing everything you want to do, to come here and ride a bus. That's what you want to do? That's what you want to do. You want to give up your king size bed in the States to come here and sleep on a futon. That's what you want to do? Even people who live in poverty in the US, and people here see this online, living better than a lot of people that are local here. They would trade with you in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. You could be on Section 8. You got the government paying your bills. You're living in luxury because you ain't doing shit. These people don't get that opportunity. They out pushing carts, standing on the street selling candy or whatever the hell they can sell, trying to make money. Wake up, man. Wake up. Luxury, look up the definition, living like a king. I don't think a lot of people know what that is. They don't have a clue what that is. When you tell someone living like a king, what do you think of? You think you're going to have somebody massaging your shoulders in the kitchen, doing whatever. You got all these people running around and you basically giving them nothing, right? You're living on $1,500. You find somebody on $1,500 a month here living like that. Please let me know where that happens at. It doesn't. So I wish people would stop telling you all this fantasy, because you're going to end up like most expats. They come here, they're excited. Females are here, conveniences are here. Over time, even more time, year and a half later, they get the hell out. They can't live like that. They don't want to live like that. It's too small of a budget. That's not realistic. That's why I keep telling you all. You all listening to people tell you that, and you come here And then either you move out of this city, like Medellin, because most people can't afford to live here. Where they go? To the coast, where it's cheaper to get some of the conveniences that they miss from the states that they can't afford here in Medellin, that they can't afford in Bogota. Understand what I'm saying? Please understand what I'm saying before you jump up, come to a country thinking all this luxury. Because if you notice in the video, what luxury are they showing you? What comforts are they showing you? The majority of the time, they sit like this, and that's all you see. That you don't, they don't get up and show you the entire place. I'll show you my entire place. I'll show you what's outside. Hell, I just did a video showing you from the roof. I got nothing to hide. And I don't even consider this great. I'm trying to get up out of here. But I'm telling you all, please let this sink in. Let this sink in. You got to look at your lifestyle in the States and stop listening to these people talking about live like a king. Ask them what the definition of live like a king is to them. I give you my definition for sure. But you look it up in any different dictionary. Comfort and luxury. I don't see the luxury in $1,500. Nowhere. Nowhere here. Nowhere. Now, if you grew up here and you going back to areas you grew back in that were, way out, and you come back with $1,500 and you gonna live there, okay, because that's a hell of an upgrade going back to that. But coming from the U.S., coming here, no way in hell. No way in hell. What's up? How you doing? What's up, Howard? I can't live in the U.S. with all the surveillance and converted cameras monitoring everything I'm doing. Where you gonna live? You ain't gonna live here? Yeah, bro. There are cameras everywhere here. You think you come here, ain't no cameras here, or any of these countries, there ain't no cameras? There are cameras everywhere. They monitor, dude. The moment you get off that plane and you turn your phone on, what do you think they're doing? What do you think they're doing? You can't go nowhere in this world, nowhere, that they don't have cameras, that they don't know everything you're doing. The only way you free of that, you get rid of everything. Phone, watch, you got nothing, no electronics whatsoever. If you think you coming to Colombia and ain't nobody's, you ain't paying attention. If you ever traveled anywhere outside the U.S., you ain't paying attention. You can go down the street right here. You ain't even got to go down the street. On the power pole, there are cameras everywhere here. Everywhere. You ain't getting away with nothing. They know exactly. As soon as you turn this on, you walk outside, they know where you are. You tripping if you think they don't. It's not about standard of living. Well, what is it about? Because I'm talking to these people who are fooling people in the U.S. talking about 1,500 is living like a king. They don't know what living like a king is. I was living in the Philippines. The way I saw some expats living was crazy. I was kind of embarrassed for them. Dude, I'm telling you, a lot of these people, their standards are either super low or they have no idea what living like a king is. You have no clue. Comfort and luxury is what living like a king is. So tell me how $1,500 is living like a king. I saw videos of people in the Philippines living in shacks outside of Manila. Shacks. And they only getting $800 in Social Security. They living in shacks with a girl. That's it. That's the only difference is they got a girl there. And they living out in bumfucking Egypt. Let's see, I will retire in about 6 years. How much do you think Medellin will change? It's going to have some changes, but I don't think it's going to change that much. Medellin, to me, is just coming into the 20th century, while the U.S. is coming into the 21st century. So it's not going to change that much. But again, what's up, Jay? Jay, aren't you the one that's from here? That's from Colombia? So you can explain something to these people? Because again, if you have super low standards, then yes, I can see that. If you came from the U.S. and you had a roommate, you come here You can live on your own and you think that's an upgrade for you, cool, I get that. But if you coming from 55, 60,000 a year, 45,000 a year, you come here, you talking about 1,500 and you living like a king, you lying. You straight up lying. Some countries need to tightly control the population because of oppression through surveillance. And I'm not down with that. Then you better not go nowhere. You better go stay in the woods and have nothing on you because there's surveillance everywhere. There's no country you go into that they don't check you out. They ain't going nowhere, they ain't checking you out. Let's see, I was born in Medellin and raised in California. I lived in Bayo for several months, and the way of living drove me nuts. Thank you. Okay, Jay, tell me how you live comfortably in Bayo. How is that luxury? Because these people are under the impression from listening to some of these people that they living in luxury. And when I go visit there and they turn water on, it's brown. They got to wait for it to clear up. They ain't got no hot water. Most of them don't even have a kitchen table. Some do. Most don't. No microwave. Nothing. And you living in luxury? Where? What's up, Greg? How you doing? I'm trying to get on SSDI. Your information is very helpful because I want to live outside the U.S. That's cool, man. But if you think you ain't gonna be surveilled outside the U.S., like there ain't no cameras, you fooling yourself. You can't live like you're in North Korea. You think the U.S. is like living in North Korea, and you don't want to go nowhere because everywhere surveilled. You're not going anywhere. They're not having cameras everywhere, dude. They got cameras everywhere. Good evening. A little late, but I'm here. Love those earlier videos. Hey, I appreciate that. You think living in the U.S. is like living in North Korea? What's the cost of a maid monthly? That depends. You got to negotiate. Like some will come and tell you they want, say, like a week, maybe 300,000 pesos, just under $100 a week. Then you got some that'll tell you they want 200,000 a month. It just depends. You got to find one. First of all, you got to find one that's going to work. Not everyone, not every one of them is going to work. They'll come in and they'll mess around. They won't even wash your clothes. They won't wash the dishes. So you first got to find one. But I would say on average, anywhere from a month, probably 150, which is like $50 to about $150, somewhere in there. $50 to $150 a month. Those videos were classics. Let's see. No police patrol and a lot of violence. One night there was a shooting. The body was in the street most of the evening. Bro, real talk. This is not the United States. When I plead with some of you all to stay out of some of these areas, the police won't even go in some of the areas here in Medellin. You think if you go to a neighborhood, you fuck up, they gonna whoop your ass in the neighborhood. You can call 123. You can call all these goddamn numbers. The police and not come, they gonna kill your ass there. Okay, this is not the U.S. That's the other part that people leave out about these countries. You don't have the same type of situations that you got in the U.S. When you call the cops, they come. No, depends on where your ass at and how bad you fucked up. You got to understand where you are when you come to places like this. Or some of those Asian countries. Let's see. It's the same in the U.S. What's the same? A maid? What are you talking about? Because no, the maid service I had in the U.S. was $30 an hour or $40 an hour, something like that. Let's see. Some places in Atlanta, cops roll 4 or 5 deep. It's so bad. Yes. Hell, they just had a cop get killed because they were doing a protest. I forgot exactly where it was, but they were doing a protest. Man, those people fighting with the police, killed one of them. And man, this ain't the U.S., bro. This is a whole different situation here. Whole different situation. No, boss. Some of the crime is the same on the U. Oh yeah, yeah. Some of the crime is the same. Yes. Let's see. And I just found most of my family tested positive for coronavirus or for the virus for COVID. Many of them have no access to medical care. People are delusional if they believe Medellin is a utopian society. It's a utopian society. I try to tell people this all the time, bro, but they don't listen. People, again, it's people's standards. It's what your standards are. To me, when people tell you they living on $1,500 a month, they have very low standards. I'm just being honest. To me, I'm saying to me, I can't speak for anybody else. Their standards are very low. Because if you're willing to give up all the comforts and conveniences that you have in the States to come sleep on a futon, to sit down in a damn picnic chair, to be using a computer like this on a wooden crate and think that you're living great, I just don't see it. No hot water. How you washing your clothes? No elevator, no nothing. And you living like a king? I don't see it. Will the U.S. Embassy help you if you get in trouble in a foreign country? Now, what do you mean by help? Because, like what? You get stuck in the country and you need a ticket back? They're going to let your ass use the phone so you can call them family members and try to get you a ticket to get back. Or if they run out of resource, I mean, if you run out of resources completely, I don't know what'll happen because most of the time you fuck. That's why they want you to have a return ticket. I honestly don't think they will. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think they're gonna do anything other than tell you to call family and friends and try to get you some help. Because this is not like the movies. People in the movies run up to the embassy. You can't run up to the embassy like that. You got to make an appointment. You take your ass to the embassy if you want to, unless it's an emergency or true emergency. You ain't getting in. You go up there the same day, they're gonna look at your ass and laugh. No, you need to make an appointment. So no, that's why I keep telling you, you need to have your finances together and understand where you're going when you come here. I like your video about having a ticket home, even though it's common sense. I saw expats begging in the Philippines. Bro, that's expats begging here. There's two veterans that I know here. One hangs out in Parque Yaris all the time. That one time I went with Jay and I did that video, he was out there. We were talking to him, and he's basically on the street. He gets paid, and he said, man, I gotta have it. He does drugs, spend it all on drugs, 100%. 2 weeks into it, he's back on the street doing the same old, same old. So they're here and they're begging. There's a lot of people here that got kicked out because they didn't have status. They on the streets, don't know who their family is or where they came from, but it happens here a lot. You said no. Why would you go to a foreign country and go to the hood and put yourself in harm's way? No, no, and hell no. Again, that goes back to people talking about living like a king in these countries. You're not living in Poblado on $500 on rent. That ain't happening. Nowhere. Nowhere here. In Laureles, yeah, you can find some spots for $500. In Sabaneta, you can find some spots for $500. And even then, you still ain't got all the comforts you got in the U.S. That's the thing I want you all to understand when people tell you that. You're not getting all your comforts on $500. No. You're gonna find more comforts in the U.S. in these small towns and cities on $500 you ever will here. That's just the truth. Now you gotta understand also, you're a gringo. You're not gonna get the same price the locals gonna get. You're not. What you spending $500 is probably only $200 for the locals. You understand that, right? No matter how much you bitch and complain, you're never gonna pay what the locals pay. You need to understand that off the rip. Even here where I am, I know I'm paying $200 or $300 more than what the locals paying. I understand that. But you're not gonna get whatever you think you're gonna get for whatever price. No, I guarantee you the locals are paying way less than your ass is paying. Uh, I checked out the video you mentioned yesterday. He's typical of most young guys. They rather live poor and just be able to party and solicit women. And that's what a lot of them just do here, dude. And they get bored with that. See, people don't believe me when I tell them. Expats leave here because, again, the females are here, conveniences are here. Over time, that shit starts to bother them to the point they get the fuck out. They go, they leave. They can't stand it anymore. You get excited, just like a new car. You excited as hell. You hear women everywhere. It's exciting. It's fun. Be here over time. See how long it lasts. Most expats don't last here 2 years before they get the hell out and they leave because they can't sustain living like that. As I said last night or the other day, whenever I made that video, look at YouTubers that come here, make tons of videos. 6 months, 8 months, a year later, you don't hear from their ass no more. They're gone. Why? They can't sustain that kind of lifestyle. U.S. will give a loan only on this extreme circumstance. Yeah, like I said, it's got to be something dire. Where did you retire? Where did you retire and how long ago? I've been retired now for, hold on, 48. I've been retired for 12 years. I own my own heating and air conditioning company in Phoenix, Arizona. And I was told maybe 7 years before I sold it that I was going to have to retire due to my disability. So I had to prepare for that 7 years in advance. But actually, I started preparing for retirement when I was 28, when I met this guy who talked to me about retirement and what I was going to do and what kind of money I planned on living on once I retired. So that's what really got me into the market, got me into IRAs. I started my own company, and then I'm still getting paid from my old company. I still get a percentage of it. So I've been retired for 12 years now at the age of 37. Let's see. I can recall an Air Force vet asking my cousin and I for money at Sweet George's Cafe. I'm like I said, dude, I just don't think some people understand when they tell the average person in the U.S. in a video they can live on $1,500 like a king in this country, what living like a king really is. Because if, like I said, if you're making 45, 55, 60,000 a year and you hear that, you give up everything and you come here and you realize they sold you a bill of goods. Because you're not going to live like that. You're living way better in the U.S. going to a $500 apartment here. It's not even close. Great info about Colombia and about the VA, bro. You became a Colombian expert now. Now, when it comes to the VA services here, and I've said this several times, there's a third-party service here called HCA. All my medication comes from there. All my medical records go to the embassy. Anything that I need to get done through the VA goes through the embassy, and then the embassy contracts it out to a third party. So that's how it basically works here. If you're in the Dominican Republic, it works the same way. When I was in the DR, every time I had to do something with the VA, they would send me to the embassy. And then I had to make an appointment to go to the embassy to get the cut, whatever it was, whatever paperwork I needed, and then take it to the doctor there. It works the same way. In the DR, I forgot what it's called, but it's off of Lincoln. It's close to Bay Vista. I know that because when I was living in Bay Vista, it only took me like 5 minutes to get there in a taxi. If you put up another video with temperatures on it, we're going to virtually fight them. You know, I gotta troll you, man. You guys that are freezing. You know, like right now outside, it's 72 degrees. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 70 degrees outside right now. I'm just having fun with that, man. Just having fun. Let's see. Medellin is a beautiful country. However, it costs to live luxury. Poblado is a strata 6. There's virtually no crime and drama, and there's always a large police presence. Dude, I can walk outside right now. Nothing. Even during the quarantine period at midnight, people here still go outside. They still walk around. Nobody say nothing. But take your ass some of these other neighborhoods and see what happens. They're gonna hit you with a fine, just like they did these other people that come here. You gotta understand where you are. You gotta understand paying a certain amount of money gives you certain luxury. I use the analogy of being on a plane. When you pay to be in first class, you get all the amenities. You paying to be just on the flight, you ain't getting shit. You gotta pay for everything. Where can you find cheap tickets to travel to Colombia? I just search online, dude. I just go directly to the airlines. I don't even try to go to those cheapticket.com crap. I find JetBlue most of the time, pretty much all the time now, coming here. And what I do is, if the price on JetBlue is something crazy, like when I flew back to Phoenix from here, one way, it was like $560. But always flying to Medellin is always cheaper. It's always more when you're leaving Medellin going back to the States that it costs more. When I came back to Medellin, it was under $300 to fly from Phoenix all the way here one way. So it's just different prices. But I just go directly to the airlines. I don't go to any of those sites. Yes, I got injured in 1991. Let's see. A fine for being outside during curfew. You get a fine here. You outside and you're not supposed to be outside. Right now it's midnight to 5 a.m. So if you outside at 1 o'clock and you ain't going to the emergency room or going to the pharmacy or something like that, you can get hit with a fine. Does your apartment come with internet service and house stable? Yes. I have, what do they use here? It's very stable. I've only had one issue at my other apartment with the internet here. Do I have it on this phone? I don't have it on this phone. I was going to show you what it is on the speed test, but it's normally the download speeds are usually in the 40s. The upload speeds suck though. The upload speeds are usually in the teens. Sometimes they get into the 20s. T Mix, how you doing? The mayor just lifted the old curfew from 10 to 5. We're still 12 to 5 till February 2nd. I don't know what you're following. I don't know what you're reading. Go back and read it again. 12 to 5, we're on curfew till February 2nd. Let's see, do you have Colombian healthcare? I don't have EPS. I have my own private insurance. I pay $116 a month for private insurance here. But EPS, I think is the local. If Jay's still on here, he can correct me if I'm wrong. But I think it's either EPS or ESP, one of them. That's the local insurance. Southwest barred our comfort pets from flying on planes. Oh, wow. Didn't know that. Hey, Marquette, is there a certain website that you can look for apartments for rent there? No, not that I'm aware of, dude. Like I said, when I came here, when I first started coming here back in 2017, I started making friends with the locals. And from there, I just met people. And like this place, I had my housekeeper, set up everything. But they thought she was moving in. They didn't know I was moving in. So they gave her a much better price than the normal price. And when I came, they was like, all right, well, you just here. You paid already. You paid a deposit and everything and took it. But your best bet if you're visiting here is to make a lot of friends here. And then basically go to the complexes and talk to the security guards, because there's always openings in these apartments. You're better off dealing with the owner than you are dealing with a management company, because the management company wants their cut of whatever it is that the apartment's renting for. So if it say it's renting for 700, they're probably gonna charge you 950 because they want their cut out of it. No alcohol sales from midnight to 5. Yeah, that's the same way it was before. Is there any benefits for veterans to buy real estate in Colombia? The only benefit is to use your housing grant. There's a grant that you can use if you own the property. It has to be in your name. If you own it, can't be a rental, can't be, in somebody else's name. It has to be in the veteran's name. You can use the grant overseas. I forgot exactly how much it was, but that's a benefit that you can use when it comes to real estate. Obviously, you can't use your home loan certificate overseas. You can only use that in the U.S. and U.S. territory. Mr. McDonald, Kalo K. My uncle said you can get Colombian medical care $30.60 a month. Yeah, that's about right. You know what, Johnny V? Didn't I kick your ass off my other channel? I don't want you on here bothering me or whatever the hell it is you're talking about. Yes, I think Jason, if I'm not mistaken, only pays like $17 a month, the equivalent of 17 US dollars a month. So yeah, that's probably about right. EPS is not that much, and then it's going to depend on the policy that you get. Obviously, you can get a basic policy, it probably costs you nothing. But I chose to get private insurance. Now, next year, when it's time for me to renew my pension visa, I don't know if they're going to require me to get the local insurance, even though I have private insurance. So I'm not sure how that's going to work next year when I have to renew. Let's see, Navy Federal Vets, you get paid Friday. I love it. Okay, there's some information for you guys. You get paid Friday. Let's see, I need Navy Federal or Penn Fed to get that day early pay. Yeah, I don't know why you guys are not taking advantage of that with Navy Federal, USAA, Pentagon Federal. I mean, all the benefits, and like I said, overseas especially, you get your damn rebate. When you go to the ATM, you get your rebates back. And the dollar has gone back up. The rates have changed. It was down to like 34, and the rates have all of a sudden gone back up. That's the current rate right now. You see that? 36.04. So it went from like 34 something to 36, just like that. Tornado hit Alabama yesterday, and one hit Tallahassee today. Oh, really? Yeah, I need to. Well, nobody from there called me, so I guess it didn't hit anywhere near them. But normally, if something bad, they're gonna call. Somebody needs some money for something, but I didn't hear from anyone today. Salute from Panama. What's up, Mr. Brown? How you doing? Let's see. Don't trust those real estate websites in Medellin. Many foreigners run their companies, and they will charge you like you're in the States. Yeah. That's why I was saying you better off coming here and talking to the guards at the gate. The guards here, all the guards in these buildings that I've learned, they know the owners. Okay. So if there's an apartment available, you're better off negotiating with the owner directly. And then when it comes to deposits, because I'm sure there's going to be a question, I only paid $200 for a deposit. I've heard people paying $5,000, $1,000, or they pay double what their rent is. If they charge you double what their rent is, that's probably somebody from the States that own that apartment. You want to deal with locals here. Most of the locals here are going to charge you between $200 and $300. That's it for a deposit. But if you're going through like, what's it called here? I can't think of the name of that company. They're like Airbnb. They're going to charge you pretty much what the rent is. Birmingham. Okay. Yeah, I got family in Birmingham. Yeah, I'm surprised. Obviously, it didn't hit anywhere near them because I would have got a message. Mr. Morris, how you doing? You just got the mini too? All right. Make sure you understand the rules. Well, with the mini, you'll be all right with the mini. You don't have to register the mini. You'll be fine with that. Let's see. With the $60 health care, you can get a health home, and that way your housekeeper expenses would be less. What do you mean here? Health home? No. Well, you're gonna pay more than that. If you're talking about getting just what, like I have a caregiver here? No, you're gonna pay more than that. Well, you're not gonna pay what you pay in the States, obviously, but you're gonna pay more than $60. Let's see. I'm gonna read up on it before it even go up in the air. Yeah. Make sure you understand the rules. There's two apps you should download. Before you fly, it's an app you should download. It'll let you know areas where you can fly, areas where you need authorization, and areas that are restrictions. And then another app that helps you with that is called Kitty Hawk. Download those two apps. Uh, Home health aid. Yeah, it ain't gonna be $60. Let's see. Maintaining still dealing with national quarantine here in Panama. Hopefully February 1st, things will start to open back up. Yeah, here, man, I don't know because the numbers here are not really going down. The hospitals are still on red alert here. And, the other day, what was it? No, it was earlier this week. They had over 2 million cases confirmed here, and they had over 50 deaths. So the numbers here definitely ain't going down. No problem. Another thing to think about is family emergencies when you're living on a low amount. Yeah, bro, I've told those people about this 1,000 times. Man. You got to have an emergency plan. You need a credit card. You need some money in savings. You need something. Because if you got to get back, and you on 1,500, and you didn't spend all of it. I think one guy, I forgot who it was on my other channel, laid out his budget. He had no room for error nowhere. I think he only had like what, 200 or 300 pesos left, which is less than $100. He had no margin for error anywhere. So that's why I tell people, man, 1,500, no way. That's just not enough. That's not enough. Something goes wrong, dude. You don't get paid. Your money don't come in. You can't pay rent. Your ass is on the street. These people ain't gonna sit here and argue with you and wait for you and go through courts and stuff to get your ass up out of there. They're gonna throw your ass out. That shit don't work here like it does in the States. In the States, you gotta go through a whole process with the court, then they gotta bring the cops and throw your ass out. Here, you're gonna be out in the streets. There ain't no, well, I get paid a few more days, give me a couple more days. Some may do that because you're a gringo. They may do that. But after that time goes by, they're gonna throw your ass out. They know what the good rentals are. Yeah, they do. But yeah, man, that's the thing, dude. Is I just wanted to stress that to you guys. Real talk. A lot of people just don't know what comfort and luxury is to average people because their standards are very low. You have low standards. You come here and say you came from a roommate, you living by yourself, yeah, that's an upgrade for you. But the average person coming from the States here and living like a king and they come here, they're not going to be nowhere near the luxury of a king, nowhere near it. So you don't be late paying your rent as a foreigner in Colombia. Many of them are skeptical to rent. Some gringos, especially young black men, which is, let's see, that is true. That's why a lot of times with Airbnb, I tell you guys, look at the bottom. There's additional costs. And especially when they see you and they think you're going to fuck something up, they're going to actually sign a contract and may ask you for more money. Because some of y'all come here, I'm keep it real. Some people come here and they fuck up. Blasting music all night long, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Some of these people got to go to work the next day. They don't give a shit. Got all kind of girls coming in and out, hanging all off the balconies. I'm telling you, dude, y'all just don't understand. When people come here, they lose their mind. And now that it's tax season and they getting ready to get this $1,400, yeah, they're gonna lose their mind coming here. It's not a gringo, so you better be quoted a cheaper rate of healthcare than expat. No, I think I'm just paying whatever, 116 is not bad. That's pretty much what I would pay, probably a little bit more in the States. Going to try out for movies. Wait, going to try out for movies. Everyone got a mess. I think my ugly self can make it as an actor now. What is this? You got to break that down for me. I don't even know what that is. Argentine. You got to break that down for me. I can barely read it as it is. He and his wife want to move back there. Their home is in Cali, Colombia. See if I'm reading that right. Oh shit! I got somebody. I forgot I told that girl to come over tonight. Uh, who's moving back to Cali, Colombia? Let me look this word up. For healthcare. Nectar. Oh, uh, where's the nectar? What are you talking about, dude? There better not be nothing about no female. You might as well get your ass on this channel. You asking about the female. My aunt and uncle from New Jersey. Oh, okay, they got a home in Cali and they want to move back there. I got you. And most people, and I told you guys this before, most people are going to leave here, Medellin and Bogota because of the price. There's a lot of times people here can't afford it and they'll move. Um, I don't drink, man. That's why I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because I don't drink. But most people are going to leave here because they can't afford it. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know what none of that is. Nectar, all that. Dude, I don't drink. I don't drink. I have no idea what you're talking about. None. Only thing I drink is water, and I drink bottled water. All that other stuff with alcohol, what I see them get, Jason loves to get a Gila Light, and a couple girls I know here drinks Corona. But other than that, I don't know nothing about no alcohol here, dude. It's muy popular in Colombia. Talking to the wrong person. I don't drink. So don't, when it comes to alcohol, when it comes to like drugs, don't ask me nothing about it. I don't know nothing about any of that. It was hard for me, but damn it, put them glasses on. Fire water, let's see. My bad, man. Don't kick them out. You give good information. It's all good. I'm just saying, I don't do none of that, dude. I don't know anything about any of that. None of that. You telling me about, so I'm looking at this shit like, what the hell is that? Nectar and all that other. I don't drink, bro. Can't touch it. Don't want it. But that's the only ones I see people drink here is a Gila Light and Corona. Other than that, I don't see nobody else drinking nothing else. Now there's some girls that drink liquor, like they'll have I don't even know. I'm not even trying to lie. I don't even know the name of it. You were right about Texas, Markel. This state definitely takes care of better. Yes, I'm telling y'all, man. Texas, New Mexico, Florida, top three when it comes to better. Well, other than DC, top when it comes to veterans. They get the hell out of good natural juices. Okay. I don't know, bro. You got me on that one. Oh, for the person that asked me about buying a house out in the sticks, the video I did earlier today with Lady's view of her house, That's in San Diego. That's outside of San Diego. Excuse me. That's up in the mountains. Okay. That house. Anybody want to guess how much that house was? Cash. How much that house? And you saw the house. There ain't no insulation. It's a thin ass piece of wood that they just basically. It just look. It looks like something somebody would build in their backyard and put like bicycles or some shit like that in it. It's just up off the ground. And then I'm looking at the structure that they got. It looks like just like one little piece of plywood. That's the floor. There's like no carpet or no nothing, right? It's just the paneling on the floor. It's got four pieces of wood holding it up from the bottom. And then it just looks like some shit somebody threw together. But anybody want to take a guess how much they paid for that house? The house had a great view though. How much the house was? Just take a guess. Y'all never believe how much the house was. Take a wild guess how much it was. But that's out in the mountains, bro. To get to her house, and that's in San Diego, but she's past San Diego. It takes 2 hours just to get to the road. You can't even drive a car up the road. You gotta walk from the bottom of the hill all the way up to where she is, because you can't even drive a car there, up to where her house is. 5K, a little bit too much. I tried that new VA number Saturday. It works, and my questions answered in less than 2 minutes. There you go. 120. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Way too much. Way too much. That house was $2,000. 2,000 US dollars. That's it. When I asked about the taxes, they're going to pay a year. I think she said the equivalent about 11 or 12 US dollars for the year for taxes on their house. Is it still for sale? Oh, they own it. They bought it. They bought it. But I'm sure it's more of them there. But dude, you all don't realize where that is. That is, you nowhere near the city. Did you hear what I said, man? You gotta walk. Okay, because they showed it. Okay, you gotta drive 2 hours. I think it's like half an hour past San Diego or 45 minutes past San Diego. I'm saying San Diego. Santo Domingo. It's 30 minutes or 45 minutes past Santo Domingo. You drive to the bottom of the hill, and then everything you got from that point, you gotta walk your ass up the hill with it to take it to the house. It's cheap because it's out in the middle of nowhere, bro. They up in the mountains. They up in the mountains, bro. What about Alabama and Arizona as far as veterans benefits? Alabama, you get exempt on your taxes for 100%. You get the license plate like you do in most places. Your kids get to go to school for free if you're from the state of Alabama. I think that's pretty much it. Arizona, man, you'll get, in Arizona, all I got was a percentage taken off of my property taxes. You don't get exempt. And your plate, you still have to pay the taxes. But that's it. Arizona, no. Ain't nobody going to school for free in Arizona. No, they ain't doing that. That's about it for veterans in Arizona. You don't really get a whole lot. You get like a park pass. Like you can go to like the national parks, depending on your percentage. If you're 50% and higher, you can go. But there's like certain restrictions on it as well. Let's see. I'll get it just as a second chill spot. You're gonna have to chill, bro, because just getting there is gonna be a trip. But yeah, it's only $2,000 for that property, dude. I don't think you all really looked at that house because you would have to do some work, man. There's no insulation, no nothing. And I'm like, it's got to be cold up there in the morning because here sometimes it'll get down to maybe 65, 63. Up in the mountains, bro, it's got to be in the 50s, low 40s up there. And maybe they used to it by now, but I'm sure it's got to be cold as hell. Because yeah, they don't have what was it? They don't have running water. You know, they got to go get their water from somewhere. I don't really know how all that situation works. The internet's kind of spotty. An emergency comes up. I don't even know how they handle that. I know you said they have rainy season there, but what about other weather conditions? They do have earthquakes here occasionally. Occasionally there will be an earthquake here. Sometimes there's mudslides. Depends on how bad it rains in certain areas here. Like driving out towards Santa Fe, you can see where the mud has just come down some of those hills, dude. They have mudslides. The rains sometimes are really bad. They get bursts of rains here that are really bad. Sometimes it knocks out the power, and I always try to pick a place that has a generator because I'm not trying to be somewhere without power. And sometimes it'll knock out the power, but it's like temporary. It'll come right back on. So they have stuff that happens here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's chill in the mountains for sure. Oh yeah, because I thought about the same thing. Like you know what, I could just buy me a little place out there. But after she showed me what it looked like, and I'm thinking like, damn, you know how much I had to invest? It's not really worth it because if I put all that into a house out there and then I sell it, you ain't really getting nothing for it. I don't care what you put in it. It's so far out, you're not gonna really get anything back. Let's see. I always advise young men that they decide to enlist in the Marines or the Army to stay out of the infantry. I scored very high on the ASVAL, and I let them trick into the infantry. That was a bad move. Yeah, yeah. My cousin was a recruiter, so I was around him and a lot of his buddies. Man, you know what? They basically try to fill slots. They have slots that they try to fill. They get a quota. Usually it's 5 to 6 that they get a month. And they have certain spots that they try to fill. So say they need a infantry, like they need 2 infantries or they need such and such slot filled. That's what they try to fill, bro. And they try to talk you into it. They tell you all kinds of shit. As I was there listening, and I'm like, damn, dude, why would you tell them that? I'm like, dude, I'm trying to get my quota. I'm like, okay. But yeah, they do what they have to do, man, to get you to sign on that line and get you sworn in. Once they get you to sign, they trying to get you to the MEP, get you through that physical. And then once you swear in, they good to go. They did all they needed to do. Because I can't tell you how many times people have emailed and cussed his ass out after they figured out that they could have had a much better job than what was offered to them. So I understand, man. If you're going in and you really don't have nobody that's helping you or mentoring you that's ever been in the military before, they'll get you. And they just fill in the quotas. Unfortunately, that's what they do to fill those quotas, dude. It's unfortunate because there are some people I've seen that score like 70, 80, even 85 on that ASVAL end up in infantry. I let my cousin talk me into going to the Army. I think I ended up scoring like 82 or 83. And I was all set to go to the Air Force. That's why I was originally supposed to go. But they offered some kind of, what was it? A signing bonus. He's like, look, man. And he got a signing bonus for referring me. He's like, look, I'm going to get this 5,000, no, 2,500. And they offered me, was it 8,000 back then or 10,000? I can't remember what it was back then. He's like, I'm going to give you half if you sign up for the Army. I'll give you half my signing bonus. Young and dumb, not thinking, all right, so I go join the Army. And then when I was in Fort Dix, the fort in Fort Dix before they closed it down, I don't know if it's still open or not. The Army and the Air Force facilities are right there together. There's just a fence separating. When we went to AIT, hell, half the Air Force was in the class with the Army, or vice versa. I don't know who facility we were in, but they all trained together. We are out there running, push-ups. They on exercise bikes. I'm sitting there like, man, I screwed this up. Let's see. I'm a Gulf War veteran. rated at only 10%. Damn, bro. Let's see. I took the ASVAL for the Army while leaving. I met the Air Force recruiter. I went Air Force. Okay. J Love, go look up presumptive service connected for Gulf War veterans. Yeah, you need to. Well, I don't know what you have or what your situation is. It's probably a lot that's going on there, dude. But you only got 10%. I would go talk to either a service organization, or I would go in and talk to one of the counselors there at a office and let them kind of break down what's going on and why you only got 10%. Yeah, 10%. Yeah, yeah. I would definitely go talk to somebody about that, dude, about your situation and everything that you got going on to only get 10%. Yeah, that's pretty low. All right, guys, been on for a little over an hour now. Any other questions you all have regarding that? But I just wanted to come on, man, and just talk about that before some of you guys make a move, come to a country like this or other countries. You got that little bit of money. You only get 70, 80% from the VA, and you think that's enough to live on in those countries. You'll start out, like I said, with a new car, feeling great, until you realize this shit ain't working. You had a much better situation going in the States. They can reclass after 2 years. Yes, the Army has developed since then. Being infantry is not a bad experience. Departing your respective camaraderies make it worth it. Okay, the camaraderie makes it worth it. Okay. Um, back then, dude, in the 90s, shit, it's nothing like it is now. The military has changed so much now. Back then, they could call you anything, black trash, all kinds of shit. Where now they got these damn cards. Like if you mean to them, they give you a card or some shit like that. I don't know what the hell it is now, but it's totally different now than what it used to be. I need 800 number, please, for VA Hampton. VA is terrible. I don't have an 800 number other than the ones I've already given out. How's your claim going? I'm still waiting. I'm still in limbo, waiting on them to get it done, but I'm not worried about it. It gets done when it gets done. My thing is, I'm waiting to hear back from aid and attendance. No, I'm sorry. I'm waiting to hear back for the caregiver program. If they approve me for the caregiver program, bro, I'm out. I'm gone. Same day. If they say, okay, we're going to go ahead and set this up and we're going to start paying you on such and such date, next thing you're going to hear from me is, all right, guys, I'm out. I'm headed back to the States. I'm only coming back to visit, because I was told even on that program, you can still stay out 7 months out of the year. I'm sorry, you got to stay in the States 7 months out of the year. Now, they didn't say whether or not it was 5 months consecutive. I don't believe it is if you can stay out of the country, because they do come and do inspections. They come and check on you when you're on the caregiver program. So I'm just waiting to see if I get approved of that. They give me the approval of that, bro, I'm gone. I'm out without a question. Air Force recruiter got me too. Let's see, Army 88. All right. J Love, you should have at least 50% of PTSD for stressors, cause hell, we all crazy for joining. Like I said, you need to go if you want to. Now you don't have to. That's up to you. If you're happy with what you got, cool. You don't want to mess with it, because there's some veterans, bro, that come back that don't want nothing to do with the VA, federal government. They content with what they got, and they don't plan on talking to nobody else. So if that's your situation, bro, cool. But if you're looking to increase what you have without knowing, what you got the percentage for or anything else you got going on, I would talk to a service organization, or I would go down to the company pen office and talk to someone there, because it doesn't hurt for them to go over what you have, explain your situation, or what you're trying to do or what you're trying to achieve, and then they can put you on the right path. Because I have no idea, what you have. But if you're content with what you got, Leave it alone. There's a lot of veterans out there, bro. I mean, that's in wheelchairs, only getting 10%, 30%. They content with that, and they're not trying to deal no more with the government. I don't try to force them to do anything. So if you're happy with what you have, cool, leave it alone. But if you're trying to get more and you have legitimate reasons to get more, then you need to pursue it. Let's see. I was always skeptical about pushing for a PTSD rating because of civil employment. Okay, so you have a government job, civilian employment, not a government job. You just have a job in general. And I mean, you can still apply for PTSD, bro. If you're suffering from PTSD, you know, having a job, that doesn't mean that you don't suffer from PTSD. If you're having, you know, you can function during the day, and let's say at night, you can't sleep at all. You having nightmares, you sweating, you up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you only getting an hour of sleep and you're going to work. You need to talk to somebody about that. You know, you need to get help with that. Having a job does not prevent you from still getting your benefits. There's plenty of people that 100% and still work a regular job. You know, they qualify for the benefits. So don't let that deter you that you got a job, deter you from going and get your VA benefits. When I had my company, you know, I was only, let's see, when I was 28, 27, I was 70% and had my own HVAC company at 70%. So don't let that deter you, bro. Real talk. Love and freedom. What's going on, man? Get what you deserve. I thought you said you discussed. What you said you digress on the claim. Oh, yeah. When it comes to my claim, I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping. Like I said, I'm only waiting on that caregiver. Caregiver one is the only one I'm really concerned with. There's other one for aid and attendance. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. But the caregiver one is the one I'm more interested in. Can I work for the Colombian? Wait, can I work for the Colombian with 100%? Can you work here 100%? Yeah. Are you 100% scheduler? You're 100% TDIU? You're 100% P&T? Because if you're 100% TDIU, you may want to leave that alone. You're 100% scheduler, P&T, ain't nothing they can do. You work all you want, but why would you want to work here? Unless you're working for an American company, you ain't gonna make much. You may make, I mean, depending on what you're doing, you ain't gonna make what you make in the States. The guy that teaches PTSD classes work at the VA and a veteran. Yeah, you know, the fact that you got a job, that doesn't deter you. Should deter you. Colombian embassy. Okay, yeah. Now, yeah, put a caveat on that. TDIU, I wouldn't mess with it. Your radio. You can, Mr. McDonald, but again, you know, I would talk to a service organization first. Because the thing about it is this, guys. It's hard for me to tell you something that can work when I don't know what you have, what you don't have. And even with some of the things that I've learned from the old channel that people would tell me, they wouldn't tell the whole story. Like some people would tell me, I have PTSD and I'm only 10%. And I'll go, wow, you're only 10% with PTSD? But then they would leave out, but I'm not service connected to PTSD. I'm only service connected for this. Then you don't have 10% PTSD. You understand what I'm saying? People would tell some things, leave other things out, and then have me thinking, well, you got all these issues and you only 10%. Well, you need to go do this, you need to go do this. And then they would send an email saying, well, I'm not even service connected for it. Then why would you tell me that if you're not service connected for it? So my thing is, in which I changed this to, I really don't want to know what you have. I'm just trying to give you guys information that can help you know about benefits that you may not be aware of. But it's hard to tell you online something when I don't have the whole picture. Just giving snippets. Can you get this? Can you do this? You can, but I don't know what the whole picture is. For hernias. Okay. Now, do you suffer from PTSD? Do you have like, is it causing you problems with any other area of your body that you can claim secondary? Is the hernia getting worse? You know, any of those things, because you can use secondary. You can file PTSD. You were in during a wartime period. If you're suffering at home, don't suffer in silence. That's one of the things that people do a lot is suffer in silence. We're embarrassed to tell people that we have issues with mental health. A lot of, for whatever reason, man, a lot of people seem to think that if you tell someone that you have mental health issues, it's the end of the world. Like, they're gonna want to put me in the crazy house. It doesn't work that way, man. Unless you really got issues, it doesn't work that way. You should talk to people. If you really have issues going on with you, even if you're not search connected for it, you should go talk to someone at the VA and get that process started. And if they think you're suffering from PTSD, that's when you file because you got medical evidence to show it. But don't suffer in silence. Let's see. Chilling. Let's see. I know I looked at how much caregiver pays. Don't blame you. Right on. Let's see. I think I'm normal for when other people believe something is wrong. I guess it's finally to get evaluated by the VA. Yes. If people have noticed a change in you, a change in your attitude, a change in your behavior, we don't notice some of these things about ourselves. When we get around old friends or family we haven't seen in a long time, they notice, like, you're not the same cat you were before you went in, or you're not the same cat that you were before you got sent to Afghanistan, Iraq, or you went to Desert Storm. You're not the same cat, Desert Shield. And they notice that, and we don't. We think everything is fine. But I'm telling you guys, man, I've met a lot of people through the years who would go home and cry at night because they couldn't get those images out of their head, and they wouldn't tell anybody. It took forever to get to some of these people to talk to people because you can tell something was wrong, but they couldn't admit it to themselves. Hey, what's up, Camp? Let's see. This is Camp. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while, man. How you doing? Only a doctor can diagnose you, not other folks. That's true. Navy veteran watching here from Houston, Texas. Okay. How you doing? Let's see. Can you have both TDIU? Yes. No. You either gonna have one or the other. You can't have both. You're either gonna be TDIU PNT or you're gonna be 100% scheduler PNT. You're not gonna be both. Now, sometimes they make an error and they'll send it out that way because you may have been TDIU from the beginning, but that's just an error. You're either one or the other. You're not gonna be both. Correct. The information you gave out on the old channel pointed me in the right direction to research my claim, to file them correctly, study and learn the rules that the VA has before you file. Yes, I tell people that all the time, man, because people hear something from someone else and then they go file, and they don't have a damn thing even close to what they're filing. So, and then they end up getting a reduction in their rating or something to that effect. So you always want to know, figure out what's going on with your claim, because they tell you. The thing about the VA, dude, is they tell you why they denied you and what you need in order to get it. If you read your denial letter, it says, we denied you because you didn't have X, Y, and Z. That's why we didn't give you this. Or if you had X, Y, and Z, we would have gave you this. They give you a roadmap. They give you the roadmap of how to get that benefit. If you have that disability, if your doctor agrees you have that disability, they give you the roadmap. They're decent. Okay. Hey, Markel, there's nothing like flying first class. Absolutely right, Harry. You know. Thanks. No problem, Mr. Brown. I'm talking to Mr. McDonald. I probably got PTSD from my crazy family in Bay. I hear you. let's see, I was rated 60% with breast cancer for 10 years. Okay. Other people with cancer had 100%. I always wondered why I wasn't 100% like them. Okay. What was the reason? What was the reason why they gave you 60%? If you read your award letter, okay, they gave an explanation of why, and they should have gave you an explanation of what you need from a doctor or what you need to get to 100. Now, is it a situation where they're saying because you had breast cancer and they may have removed your breast and the cancer was gone? Because it's crazy how the VA does percentages when it comes to body parts. You could be missing a foot, okay? And they'll only give you 30 or 40%. You're going, fuck, for my foot? But you got to understand what they wrote. They're saying you're cancer free, unlike some of the other people who may still be suffering and still have cancer. So you always got to be careful when you're comparing your situation to other people's situations, because sometimes they don't paint the entire picture. Now, I don't know for sure what happened with yours, but your biggest thing to do is reread your award letter. Go down to Company Pen and talk to them about it. Because there has to be an explanation of why you only got 60 if other individuals who are in the exact same position as you got 100. Did they have other conditions other than cancer? You understand what I'm saying? So you need to, those are factors you need to know other than just saying they had cancer and they had 100. Okay, well, did they have cancer and then they had service connection for their back, service connection for their arm, PTSD? So that there's always an explanation there. Read your award letter carefully. If you still don't understand, go down to Company Pen and talk to them. Go to a service organization and talk to them. But make sure you understand clearly why you only got 60 and others got 100. Same way. Let's see. Order a copy of your military record. Yeah, I tell people that all the time to make sure you know that, and you will know what you have in there that is Service Connect. Yes, you want to get a copy of your C file. You also want to get a copy, if you can, of your service record and match it up, because sometimes things get missed. I remember on my old channel, what was her name? Brown was her last name was Brown too. She was awarded SMC K, I think it was, and it had been on her file for like 10 years. They had to pay her all that money back. She had no idea. When I told you, go back, get a copy of your record, check your record, make sure it's correct, make sure you got paid what you were supposed to get. She didn't. She found it, and then she got her money. It happens all the time. I'm telling you all, you need to go back. For those of you that are 100 and you got multiple disabilities, sometimes SMCs get overlooked. And it's easy to get overlooked in finance because they're just looking at what they owe in back pay. Some people get hundreds of thousands of dollars in back pay due to VA errors. Okay? You always want to go back and check your records. You always want to go back and make sure everything is correct. But if you don't take the time and do that, and then you go, oh man, I don't know this. Get a copy of your C file, your compensation file, get a copy of your military record that you can get them. Can you apply for SMCS being 100% TDIU? Yes. Guys, you don't have to be 100% to apply for TDI. I'm sorry, to apply for SMC. If your doctor feels, for example, with SMCS, let's say your doctor says you need bed rest for every 4 weeks, you need to take 10 days of rest. Just stay at home, okay? And say you're only 80%, 90%. If your doctor feels you need that, because that's basically SMCS, if your doctor feels you need that, you don't have to wait for the VA to give it to you. You can apply. So you don't have to be 100%. There's tons of veterans out there who are only 40 and 50% for certain leg conditions that are getting SMCK. Okay, so you don't have to be 100% to apply. Talking to Mr. McDonald's. Talking to each other. Anyone else in the chat ever served in infantry? No, I wasn't infantry. Let's see. I don't like being referred to as a gunny, as a grunt. No, I wasn't in infantry, bro. But yeah, you don't have to be 100% in order to apply for SMC. But that's not a guarantee you're gonna get it either. With SMC, it's tough because you need medical evidence. Without medical evidence, you can apply all day, nothing gonna happen. So unless there's a couple different ways you can get SMCS. If you have, say you have one service connection that's 70% or higher, and you have multiple that add up to 60% or higher, you qualify that way for SMCS. The other way is just that. What it is you're at home. You know, you need bed rest. You've been assigned to the bed for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever. You know, you got somebody there to try to help you. There's many different ways to qualify for SMCS. But don't just apply if you don't have medical evidence. Ask your doctor. Talk to your doctor, whether it's your psych doctor or your primary healthcare doctor. Say, hey, doctor, look, I'm thinking about applying for SMCS since you're telling me I need to stay at home in bed 10 days every 4 weeks. That way your doctor is aware of what you're doing because they're going to send your doctor a form to fill out. Okay, and if your doctor agrees with that, then you know you're pretty much going to get it. But if your doctor tells you no, I don't think I don't think this is for you, because some people go and try to apply for aid and attendance, and the doctor goes, no, I don't think you really need this. I think you need to do this instead. Don't apply, because they're going to send the form to the doctor when you apply, and he's already given you the answer. You're wasting your time at that point. So for you that's getting ready to apply for SMCS, go talk to your doctor, psych or primary care. Let them know what you're getting ready to do. They agree with what you're getting ready to do. If they don't agree, don't waste your time. Let's see. Combat engineer. Yeah, I was a combat engineer. Let's see. I had 2 MOSs. J-Love. They talk to each other. Oh yeah, man, ain't nothing like talking to other vets. Veterans are a unique class of people, in case you guys didn't know that. There's not that many people from the U.S. or in the U.S. that join the military. Some of you guys joined for many different reasons. I joined because that was the only way I could go to college. In the small town that I was from in Alabama, you only had so many choices. You either had to be a great athlete, a scholar, or you join the military. That's the only way you're going to get out. Those were the only choices you had to get out. And if your family didn't have money, which most of our families had no money, the only way you were going to go to college was on the GI Bill. That's just the truth. But all right, guys, that's it for tonight, man. Hopefully, you guys got some information out of that. That's a good chat. Have a great night. Signing out from Panama. Okay, Mr. Brown. So I'll try to come back on this channel again, do more lives, because it seems like you guys have way more questions I wasn't aware of. But anyway, you all have a good one, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.